So, a coworker had a problem with me not continuing working with the company. And he had a problem because he's been working with this company, or they've been working with this company for years. And they mad at me when I didn't do the same. So as a result, when we met back up again, he bullied me. He mocked me in front of his friends at a worker party. He wanted to play power play games. He wanted to be the life of the party and outcast me and laugh at me and low key bully me because I was different from him. And I think this shows you how jealous coworkers can be. Some people think that they're better than you because they followed the so-called script of working with a company for so many years. But what they don't understand is sometimes people have to leave places to form their own path in their life. And they got mad that I formed my own path in my life. I can use jobs as stepping stones as to where I can be, but I'm not gonna put my whole identity in a job. And I think that's what my coworker was doing. He put his whole identity in a job to get respect from the boss. And when a boss, found out that I left and, I was doing something else in my life, he was like, wow, I respect that. Keep going, keep working hard. I got the respect my coworker never got. And see, people respect you when, you have a choice and you're not trying to win over somebody else's respect. People respect you when you just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? They don't respect you if you're just always under them. And that's what my coworker was doing. He was under our boss for so long, trying to win his respect. But I want his respect because I had the courage to leave and do my own thing. Okay? And I'm not saying you should leave a job without another job or stuff like that. But sometimes life calls for you to leave a certain place, and it calls for you to do something on your own, do something else on your own. And that's what my coworker doesn't get, because he's been working for this company for so many years. He placed his whole identity in working for the company. And you know what happened? In that so many years, he continued to work for the company. And yeah, he got money. He has a family. But he didn't grow as an individual. But in those number of years, like when I left and he stayed, I grew. I grew, my own business. I grew a brand in that span of time before I met my coworker again. I grew a business. I grew a brand. And now people are reaching out to me. People want to work with me. Okay, sometimes you have to go out to discover what's really for you. Because sometimes that stable job isn't for you. And that's what I knew deep down. It wasn't for me. Yeah, I can get a job for a stepping stone, and that's a lot of people's life. But at the same time, I'm not going to put my whole identity in a workplace environment. I'm not going to put my whole identity to where I want to win over the respect of my boss just by working there. That's not me. I can work, but I also want to do something else. I also want to build my own thing. And that's what my coworker doesn't get. And that's why he was mocking me and bullying me, because he saw that I was different. He since I left the company, he knew I changed while he stood the same. And that really bothered him. And it also bothered him because we were at a workplace party and I didn't engage much. And he would be like, you all right? You all right? And I think we were, I guess we were doing some event, right? And then I saw somebody, like run away from something. And I was like, why is he running away? So I was about to run away. And then he said, are you scared, Mark? And I'm like, and I didn't respond because I knew my instincts were on point. You know what I'm saying? Some people just try to put those subtle jabs at you. They try to make you feel bad for doing what's right. And this is what my coworker was doing. He was just doing the most. He's like, you good, Mark? I mean, you scared, Mark? And then I didn't respond at all. Because my coworker was just doing his thing, whatever he was doing, and he was trying to be the life of the party. He was trying to be loud and flashy and assert his control over everybody. And I want to give this story time as a lesson that just because someone is loud and assertive, you need aggression in life. Yes, I agree. But if you're like too flashy, too loud, people don't respect you. Now, if you can lead with power, but that doesn't mean that people will respect you. People respect those that live in truth. They don't respect those that assert dominance and power over people. And that leaves you forgotten. When you assert dominance and fear and control over people, people will forget you in the future because you disregarded of how they felt. But when you live in truth, when you live in peace, that's how people remember you. That's how people remember you. When you live in truth and when you live in peace, that is how people remember somebody. Let's look at the story of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I want to talk about the two brothers in the Fire Nation. I want to talk about Ozai, Fire Lord Ozai, and Uncle Iroh. And I don't know if you guys have watched Naruto, but Ozai was very flashy, very loud, tried his very best to assert dominance over people, and people obeyed, but people didn't really respect him because the way he would get to the position of being the Fire Lord, he mocked his brother Iroh for leaving the throne because it was originally Iroh's birthright to become a Fire Lord, but Iroh walked away from that throne after his nephew got killed in a war. And so Iroh was mocked. The heir to the throne was mocked by his own younger brother Ozai for just leaving. And in that nation, in the Fire Nation, that was considered very disrespectful. And so people saw that and they're like, Ozai is not a good person. He disrespected his own brother for leaving the throne. He mocked and disrespected him. Right? And so Ozai used mockery. He used loudness, flashiness to get the attention of the people, and they obeyed, but they didn't respect him. But in the end of the Avatar show, the Avatar defeated Ozai, the guy that mocked Iroh, and Iroh won because he helped the Avatar. He was fighting for peace. So I'm here to tell you guys that truth and peace win every single time over power and dominance and fear and control. Truth and peace, the fight of truth and peace, win every single time over dominance, loudness, control. Those things don't last long. Fear doesn't last long. But truth and peace, those last for many years. Truth and peace last for many years. So I just want to give you guys this story time, and I want to give you guys an insight of, why power, right? Power, control never wins in the long term. You might get short-term gains. You might get access. You might get money, but you're hollow inside. And what do I mean by hollow inside? Your soul is empty. I want to say that again. When you chase external validation, external things, loudness, flashiness, that leaves you hollow inside your soul. So I'm here to tell you guys, don't chase the external validation. You got to look inward to reflect on yourself and to love yourself in order to live a life of truth and peace.